How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to show you guys some cool tips you guys can use in kitchen and cafe to win more rounds. If you guys like going kitchen, and if you guys like playing mirror often, you can also set up a mirror on the main wall. So this mirror can actually allow you to see both ways. You can see the main door if attackers try to come through there, and you could also use this side to watch if any attackers are trying to push in from small bake. So this mirror has two different purposes, one for small bake and one for the big door. Obviously, just be aware since you're making head holes here that none of your teammates are near here so they don't get shot, worst case scenario. But either way, this mirror works really good because it's going to keep attackers on their toes and they're going to be very cautious in the mirror. Pretty good bulletproof cam that you guys can use. So you guys can put it in bakery. So what you guys can do, you guys can just vault up here, kind of walk on top of the coffee machine, and then just pull it out, and then you should be able to just set it right here. This is a good camera just because you can see all of bakery. You can see the double door. You can see the small bake door if anyone tries to walk in. And if there's any attackers, maybe like Ace, Hibana, or Thermite trying to get the wall open, from this angle you should be able to destroy whatever it is that they're throwing. So this camera can give you pretty good intel, and it's not necessarily easy to destroy unless you just come from a small bake and shoot it, but by this time they're going to be exposed because whoever's right here trying to destroy the camera, if there's someone playing connector, you could easily just swing out when they're not paying attention and just get the kill. You guys can also set up a mirror here if you like. The only bad thing is this, it's right next to this double door right here, so if you're going to do this, I highly suggest you go a castle and castle this up. And make sure you put something nearby, that way you know attackers are near the area. And if they open this, I suggest you literally just retreat from this mirror because it's too risky, especially since it's right here and it's right next to the hallway. But say this is still castled up, you guys can still use this mirror if attackers take control of A. And if they try to plant by the default spot, you can just chuck a C4 over there and then it'll kill them. So for this double door right outside kitchen, so if you guys set this right here, you guys know most of the time some attackers try to sneak in through like bar area. If you open feed holes and they try to open this castle, you can just make feed holes in the soft wall by bar, and you can see their feet exposing them. You're gonna be able to see them, but they can't see you, so you can just shoot them whenever they're trying to destroy this, and this should help. This should help you out pretty well. Okay guys, a cool trick you guys can do with the window and kitchen, and if you're playing a zombie, you guys can actually make some barriers here. This is gonna make it a lot more difficult for attackers to push connectors, so let me just show you guys what I mean. If you guys put barriers there, then it's just gonna make it real difficult for them to see you. You can see their bodies, but they can't see your head, and then they can't see anything else besides that, so you're gonna be able to get a couple shots off. Just keep in mind if they have someone like Ash or Callie, make sure to put like some Wamais or ADSs from Jaeger just to make sure this doesn't get destroyed. But other than that, this should help you pretty well defend connector. Alright guys, another cool spot you guys can put barriers on to protect site is over here. So let me show you guys. You guys can put barriers on this side panel right here and just keep stacking them next to each other. At one point, you're going to be able to see a little bit in the hallway, but if you keep putting them across, if you're defending from this corner, you can see the attacker's feet. And then it's going to be difficult for them to destroy this because they have to walk in sight to melee it. Unless they have a Callie or Ash, but even if you put like Womais or ADSs by the double door, this should protect you fairly well. You guys can also do this from this little counter as well. This should protect you guys pretty well, so you guys can put 2 or 3 on this side and then put the rest on the kitchen window over there where I showed you guys earlier. And that way you'll have the 2 main entries covered by barriers. Another good spot for bulletproof here is just literally on these shelves right here. This will work well, that way you don't have to have one person watching connector the whole time. If there's attackers mostly pushing from hallway, you can have people on that, and then if there's anyone dead, you can just have them watch this bulletproof cam. That way there's more bodies on wherever the attackers are coming from. And it's going to be fairly in the sight, so it's going to be difficult for the attackers to destroy this unless they have like a Ash or a Callie or anything that has a projectile that can destroy it from afar. Alright, this next tip is from a Tachanka main, so if you guys like going Tachanka, this strat will definitely help you guys out. So if you guys are protecting the bakery door, you can just put a shield here or not, up to you. I personally do it because it protects me more, and then I can have a little bit of an angle towards the bakery door as well if it's open. And then with your turret, you can just start shooting them towards the doorway. That way they can't walk in. That'll make them waste time. And as you know, they only have 3 minutes to get inside. So they're either going to have to go through the fire as long as you utilize these effectively, or they're going to have to push in from somewhere else. But either way, it's going to make them waste a lot of time. You guys can also do this from the kitchen counter as well. So you guys could put a barrier right here, right below this little white box, top of the door. And then for another one, you guys can also put it like right here. It's gonna allow you pretty good angle, if you ask me. If you play like back up here, you can see their body, but they can't see your head because of this Kiba barrier that's defending your head. So this spot could also work pretty well. Just make sure that this is closed, because if this wall's open, there's no way you're gonna be defending this from here, because you could easily get shot from anyone in the bakery. There's another cool tip you guys can do. You guys can make some holes up here. That way you guys can throw C4 from a safe direction if attackers get control of A and they're trying to get a plant off. Most of the times they're going to try to plant by the default, which is behind the A chastity bomb, just because it protects them more. So what you guys can do, you guys can just chuck the C4 over here like that, and that should land right where they're trying to plant, and that'll kill them. And then you guys can do the same thing over here. If you have intel that they're on this side of the room rather than that side, so you guys can just do the same thing over here. Just chuck a C4, and then that's gonna kill anyone that's planning at the other pretty common spot, which is like right here. All right, let me show you guys some cool valve cams that you guys can use. You guys can actually put one underneath this table right here. This one always works well for me. This is going to allow you to see all of bakery, essentially. You can shoot out these chairs if you want. That way you can see better towards the counter side. But this camera works really well. Just make sure you don't hard ping it unless there's only like one attacker left or there's like 30 seconds left in the round. That way they don't start looking for the camera. Because by this time they'll shoot the default camera. And if you're hard pinging, they know there's a camera in the room and they're going to try to look for it. And then just to show you from this angle, they can't see the camera when they walk in through the door. So just like I said, make sure you don't hard ping. And then this camera, I actually just like to put in sight just near this AC unit right here. The reason why I do this is because if attackers take control of sight at this point, they're either going to try to plant here or here. And if you make holes on this wall, like I said earlier and like I showed you guys can use a C4 to throw it wherever they're trying to plant. You can do it safely because you'll just have a hole up here. This entire wall's not going to be open, so they won't be able to see you. So you should be able to kill the guy. You should be able to at least kill the guy that's trying to plant, because you'll know exactly where he's planting in the room. You guys can do the same thing for small bake. You guys can put a camera right here underneath that table. Make sure you shoot the chairs out, that way you can see better. But as you can see the entire hallway all the way from small bake. And there's attackers coming from freezer side. And you could also see a little bit into bakery too. And if this is open, you can also see bakery essentially as well. And just to show you, if attackers coming from the window, they're not going to be able to see the camera. They're not going to be able to see it either if they're coming through this door. You can see a little bit of it, but I just know where to look, so just keep that in mind.